Everybody, Joseph Christ from 4-Player Network here with Chris Davis. How are you, sir?
I am doing fine.
From E3 2013, and we're going to talk about Murdered Soul Suspect Dying Light.
Kinda.
What is it called again?
Murdered Soul Suspect.
Murdered Soul Suspect. Okay, you saw this game yesterday.
Yes, I did.
I just came out of the behind closed doors view. Let's give this a quick synopsis. Basically, you play this cop in Salem, Massachusetts. You've been murdered. You become a ghost, and then you must solve your own murder as a ghost by investigating crime scenes in a L.A. Noire sort of way.
Yeah.
Right? So you were really hot on this game.
I think it's really interesting the way they're doing these investigation mechanics.
So basically what happens is you're going through a crime scene, and much like L.A. Noire, you find maybe you see the body, and little words will kind of pop up, and it'll say like fell or shot or strangled or beaten, and you have to pick the correct ones. And when you pick the correct ones, it's like ding, yes, you got it right, and then you see a small cinematic showing you that part of the crime scene. So my issue with this game, and it can be a cool mechanic, is that it seems to me like you're just sort of like just choosing menu options the whole time, and then when you choose the correct menu options, you see a cinematic.
Well, first you have to investigate the different aspects of the crime. You know, you'll possess witnesses to see their hidden testimony. You'll possess people to look at their notes and see what they wrote down, things like that. Because I mean, you're a ghost. You can't interact with the rest of the physical world.
True.
So you've got to take that information, and once that information is collected, then you can form a deduction about what happened at that scene.
Right. I think my issue is that getting that information all just kind of happens with choosing the correct menu options. And in the playthrough I saw, they always chose the correct ones.
Yeah, they never demonstrated going wrong.
Yeah, I want to see if I choose the wrong options, does that lead me down a sort of storyline pathway that dead ends, and then I have to go back and sort of re-deduct everything? Or does, when I choose something that's wrong, does he just go, nope, and I have to then choose the right one? That's my worry.
I think they might take like a heavy rain approach to that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know how you do your investigations, and you know what you learn, you glean together, and then you'd make a decision, and sometimes they'll just tell you you're flat out wrong and let the game progress from there. And maybe there's a consequence thereof.
See, I would like that. That'd be okay with me. I'd be okay with that. I'm just afraid that it's like, this menu choice is incorrect, so keep on picking until you find the correct ones. And that would be, I'd find that sort of a missed opportunity in that sense.
Yeah, in that way. I mean, when I think of those decisions, it does tie into kind of like L.A. Noire, for example. How there were a couple of cases where you had to choose between two suspects, and some of them were just black and white. You knew who was the bad guy. But then there were some that you could understand how both of them would have done the crime.
Yeah.
But there's a clear answer to those.
I think I want more gray area.
I would agree.
I'm looking for more gray area. One other thing is there are side quests, and there was one side quest in particular where you find the ghost of a woman, and she's very scared. I think you find her in sort of the back of this house in a closet.
Yeah.
And her problem is she can't find her body. I'm not sure why she needs to find her body, but she can't find her body. You know what? She's probably playing EverQuest, and she wants to get her loot back. So she needs to.
Exactly.
She needs to find her body to get her loot back. She's doing a corpse run. So then she says to you the last thing she remembers is talking to an elderly couple. So you go and you find this elderly couple, and you go into their bodies of the elderly couple, and you find out that they murdered this girl, which is very strange in itself. It's sort of weird.
Well, the father got drunk and beat her, and she didn't wait.
Oh, okay, I didn't get the drunk part, but
yeah.
You know. So then you basically you find out where she is. She's in a quarry 5 miles out of the city, and then you go back to the girl ghost, and you tell her, hey, your body is in the quarry outside of the city, and she's like, oh, okay, thank you very much, I'll go grab it, and like that's kind of it. And I feel like that's kind of a freaky thing, meeting a ghost who can't find their body.
Well, the idea is that she can go find her body, she can finally have peace and move on to the rest of her afterlife.
I guess, but they never. But then why didn't the cop, when he found his body, have peace and move on with the rest of his afterlife?
Because his ghosts have unfinished business. Mm-hmm. So his business is that he has to find his killer and find a way to bring him to justice.
But she was killed too.
Yeah, but she knows who the killer was.
Oh, I see. It's the unknown.
Yeah.
I see. But I still feel like there should have been more to that, because that's kind of a freaky thing, a very emotional thing. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll go get my body from the quarry. Yeah. And that's kind of it. And I felt like, I wish they did more with that. And we should mention also this game is pretty early, so maybe a lot of these things will be flushed out. My one concern is you have this very broad narrative with these ghosts and this afterlife and this interaction with people and your ability to poltergeist and move things around. And I don't want it to be so surface level where you're just doing these very one-dimensional actions throughout this entire game, and they never really expand the story or the horizon of the story to bring in these other elements.
Well, I think this is such a different perspective as far as investigations in video games that they have to be basic. They have to show, hey, this is the most basic form of how you play this. Later on in the game, it may completely expand.
I'm hoping so, because right now it just sort of seems sort of like a 3D point-and-click adventure almost.
In a way, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I like what I saw so far. I just want more out of it. And I think that's a positive thing to say. I want more of what you're doing. Just deepen that.
I really hope they expand on the demon aspect of the game.
So they have these demons that are running after you, and to kill them, so you can sneak around them, because if you stay out of their eyesight, you can, by killing them, you kind of get up, and you press X, and you enter their body, and you explode, and you kill them. But it's very...
But that's the only way you can take them out, because if you try to take them on one-on-one, they kill you instantly.
But it's also a very dull way to do it. You're just sort of going up behind them and hitting X.
Yeah, it is kind of. Yeah. I'm thinking that there might be more demon classes, and maybe that's just like the most basic version.
Yeah, and I think that's the sort of the narrative. What we're saying is like this game seems like it can have some very, very good ideas. It's just that it's just not very deep right now.
Yeah,
and that's my main issue. But they have so much to work with. I hope they really deepen everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Murder Soul Suspect. We're gonna go play some
Splinter Cell or maybe some Payday. We don't know.
Or some Payday. I hear Brad just saw the Stick of Truth, and he said it's amazing. We haven't even seen gameplay. I kind of think maybe we have seen gameplay, but we all think it's the cartoon. But who knows?
We need the fucking HUD before we can,
Maybe there's no HUD. The HUD is
then
farts.
How do you tell anything?
It's South Park farting or something.
Ouch.
Jesus farts. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching. Joseph Christ, Chris Davis, 4playernetwork.com, coming to you live, kinda, not really, from E3 2013. See you later.